Alright, so I just sort of wanted to talk a little bit about something that I guess could loosely be called a hyperdoc. Now the basic idea is this. In the olden days, you would hand out all of your handouts and your worksheets, and they had their textbook in their hand and they had their workbook that they'd done all their work in. And it was all sort of pasted together, and that's how they kept all of their resources in one place. Now, we're sharing all sorts of resources now. We're sharing videos, we're sharing PDFs online, we're sharing Google Sheets and slides and docs, whatever it might be. They can't paste them into their workbook anymore. So how do we organize these things? So one way that you can do it is by creating this Hyperdoc. So the way that I tend to run it in my class is I'll write something like Term 2 Maths A, and I call it the run sheet. And it just gives them a basic structure to everything that they've been handed in class, any videos that I might have shared with them, any websites that were useful, everything at all kind of gets put on this run sheet. So I start by inserting a table. That's how I tend to do it. Now the table has a few things in it. Usually I put dates here. I put link to materials, I guess is probably, link to learning is probably the best one that I could come up with. Link to questions, notes, and anything else it might be. Now, then I just go nuts putting links into here. So at the start of the term it looks blank, and I share that with all of my students. Click the share button, share it with MABOA. I'm not going to do it now. Share it with a class, send that off. Okay, so now they have a link to that class. Now let's say I want to add a link to their textbook because they're going to use their textbook a lot. I just go to my Google Drive, I find my textbook, let's say Maths A textbook. Now this is the important bit. Share it so that this click here, get shareable link. This means that anyone at St. Joseph's Nudgee College with the link can view that PDF. So I'm going to copy that. You don't have to like get in there, you just press the copy link button. And I'm going to insert the link there. Now when I insert the link, I'm not just going to paste the link, I'm going to insert the link and say Maths A textbook. Okay, so that's a basic idea behind it. Now, today's the 19th of the 4th, 2016. I'm actually going to see my Maths A class for the first time, and I'm going to provide them with a video that explains some stuff. So I might just go and grab that video. So I just went over to my YouTube channel, and we're starting on navigation here. So I need them to watch this True Bearings video. So I'm just going to copy that. I just right-click here, copy the link of the True Bearings video. And then, again, I'm going to insert a link. Now, I'm going to be descriptive with these links. True Bearings video. That way they can come back to this. Because while we're making this document on the fly, this document they will always have access to for the next 8 or 9 weeks. They can go back, they can revise it, they can click on the link, they can remember what they were doing. Now, I've written link to questions here. But actually, maybe I'll just write questions, because sometimes I'll link questions to them, but sometimes it'll be as simple as them going to their textbook, which is up there, and doing exercise 2A, something. Now, in the notes here, I might say something like, make sure you check in with me before we move on. Or it might be, be really careful with this stuff, or whatever it might be. Now, you can see that this is a very, very basic thing, but I talk to my students in class so we can go on. Alright, so there's our basic idea behind a Hyperdoc. Eventually, your Hyperdoc will end up looking something like this. So this is one I did last term with my 12As. You can see that there's nothing fancy about it. There's just a lot of links here to various things. that we covered over the course of the term. Okay, so there's our basic idea. If you've got a lot of materials that you're sharing with your students and you're thinking, how are we organising these? Google Hyperdoc might be the way to go.